move that ANC 6E support the public space application for the outdoor cafe for Pi 360 at 655 K Street Northwest, contingent on the installation of security cameras capable of monitoring the area of the outdoor seating. So that we communicate that support to the Public Space Committee and the District Department of Transportation.
Alex, may I make a comment?
Yes, there is a second. Go ahead.
But it's two different issues. I don't think we should, he has to decide that with, you know, feasibility with his partner. I don't think we should hold back the picnic tables or the tables, because what if he doesn't get a camera? I mean, I just don't, you can't put the two together.
Anyone that doesn't approve, then we would vote against the motion.
All right.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, the motion made by myself and seconded by Commissioner Wiggins that is that ANC 6E support the public space application for this outdoor cafe with the stipulation that security cameras be installed to monitor that outdoor area. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays?
Nay.
No abstentions, so the motion passes 3-1-0. We'll send that communication to the Department of Transportation.
Thank you.
Shaw's Tavern, 520 Florida Avenue Northwest. This is a business that has been operating in our jurisdiction for a while, and I know I was there just on Sunday, as a matter of fact, and I know that many of our constituents do enjoy patronizing. Your location, you're coming for support for the renewal of your Class C tavern license.
Correct.
So is there anything in terms of your operations that you'd like to share with the commission? Any changes that you're looking to make? Any upcoming events that you'd like to share?
No, we've been operating now since April of 2015 as the new owners. We love the neighborhood, and we have a great relationship with a lot of the people that do live in that neighborhood. So I think today we're just here to answer any questions for anyone that does live in the neighborhood. If there's anything that we can address, we're all ears in terms of hearing any concerns that you guys might have.
Sure, I think that we were, heading into the new ownership change, communicating with Commissioner Chapel, there was a lot of concern with the previous tenant and how they owned and operated the business with regard to noise. We did make those changes with installing some sound deafening materials. We've limited the hours of the events that we're hosting because of the concerns of the neighborhood. We haven't extended our liquor license to the hours that we could operate. We just don't feel the need for it, mostly for our personal safety, our staff safety, and the surrounding community. We kind of leave that stuff up to the other end of Shaw. So we don't want to make any changes to what we're doing now. We just want to keep being the namesake of the community.
And you recently opened a second operation nearby.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Two
Tell us
blocks.
about it.
We bought Dunya, which is on 8th in Florida, and we converted the space by doing some aesthetic changes, and have now opened as 801 Restaurant and Bar. Happy to move up the street from there as operators for that location as well.
Great. Commissioner Chapel, this establishment is in your single entry district?
Yes. The new owners of Shop Tavern have been always very responsive to me and to the neighbors. They've been a very good neighbor, and I am fully supportive of the renewal of their Class C Tavern alcoholic beverage license. So, with that being said, that I will move that ANC 6E support the renewal of Shaw Tavern's Class C Tavern alcoholic beverage license, and we communicate our support to ADRA.
I'll second that. Any further discussion on the part of the commission? Any comments from the audience? Hearing none. On a motion made by Commissioner Chapel and seconded by myself that commission support the renewal of Shaw's Tavern's Class CT license at 520 Florida Avenue Northwest. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is unanimous. Thank you very very much.
Thank you.
Sending that correspondence out, and good luck with your new operation and with your continued operation in Charlestown.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Next, Commissioner Nigro's proposed resolution related to residential permit.
So, yeah, this has to do with DDOT is finally having procedures for requesting resident-only parking on one side of the street, where one side of the street is resident-only and the other side is 2 hours. So now it's a formal process. Before it was kind of like all over the place, and people would get it and not get it. It was crazy. So we didn't get it. They cut us off literally the week after I submitted our petition. So we've been waiting patiently for more than 2 years trying to get resident-only parking. I attended the meeting about 4 weeks ago now, where the proposal went, which is great, it's a great proposal, but for the streets to now get resident-only parking requests, it has to come from the entire ANC, which is good, I support that. But I also suggested that the requests come from a single-member district member too, especially if our area, which is just one big parking lot for the convention center. So they're well aware of how I feel, but that was my suggestion, that we put a resolution together that in addition to ANC moving it forward, that a single member district representative can also move and requests also.
So this is a suggested change to the proposed rulemaking?
Correct, or add. So they have no problem with how it is now in terms of, yes, the ANC can go, yes, resident only parking, but in addition, that the single member, if it's bad enough, or if they can consider it, that a single member district commissioner can say, please consider this, in addition to, this was an idea I put forward. I think I was the only person that maybe cared about it, but we have a severe problem because of the convention center. So that would be it.
Comments on part of members of the commission? Any comments on the part of the audience? Did you want to move forward with a resolution?
And nothing's been finalized by any means by DDOT. This is a huge procedure for them. My motion that ANC 6E write a resolution in support of a single member district member requesting resident-only parking in addition to an entire commission requesting that parking.
I will second that. And then we communicate that to
Yeah,
the
to
District
DDOT.
Department of Transportation.
Correct.
Okay. Any further discussion on the part of the commission? Hearing none, there's been a motion made by Commissioner Nigro that we send a resolution to DDOT recommending that single-member district commissioners, in addition to full commissions, be able to formally request the establishment of residents-only parking within their single-member districts. And I seconded that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we have 3 yeas, no nays, and 1 abstention. So the motion passes now. Did you want to go ahead and formally want to request that the commission, or did you want to make a subsequent request once the regulations are final, or did you?
Yeah, once they are still working it all out, so we have to wait a little bit. So, but thank you, that'll certainly come up.
Sure. So
Yes.
obviously, Commissioner Chappell and I, worked laboriously for about 6 months, just before the regulations were basically
Shut down.
suspended to get residents-only parking in an area that was going to be adversely impacted by the opening and the operation of the Howard Theater a number of years ago, and it has helped. I think, at least in my single members, it has been a help, and hopefully Commissioner Chappell's constituents also have found it to be a help. So we certainly, would encourage other parts of our jurisdiction to make comparable requests if that will alleviate some of the parking challenges that we're all experiencing.
The concern I have with that is that with the convention center being so close to my single member district, we have a lot of people, car show, one example. People park right in front of my house. I just live with it. I park in the back of my house where I do have residual parking. We also have a lot of parishioners. There's 5 churches on that block of 6th Street that's close to the convention center. So if you're saying that those who come into the city, not just, you have Galbraith, you have House of Prayer, you have First Horizon, you have AME, you have Springfield, all of those churches are on that block. So if you restrict residential parking, you're actually kind of blocking out all of those churches who could have parking, who need parking, maybe just for Sunday. But that gives me a concern to make it residential only. Even if you look at the beginning of the year, you have the car show. All of that, as I said before, all that traffic bleeds into the neighborhood. So that kind of gives me pause.
So Frank, that's why I said, like, just the single member district area, because there was this discussion about where was it gonna end, it's gonna be the entire ANC, and I said, well, let's pause. If one commissioner wants it, let it just be that area. And I can tell you, Frank, as we know, we've been talking about it, for 6 years I've been talking about parking, and it is my #1 concern, the end, the end, the end. And they have been waiting very patiently for this, and the majority of people want that, for my area. I can't talk about your area,
Your area.
but my area, it is a parking lot due to the convention center, a lot. And on the west side of the convention center, they have those signs. Whenever those signs went up, the east side did not get it, and that is my area. And the DDOT acknowledges that, the ballpark gets all this special, regulations and all that, and we get Zippo on the east side of the convention center. That's it.
Parking certainly is the #1 issue that is brought to most of our attentions. I think these days, #2 may be rats. We seem to be having a rat population explosion that we're going to have to take some additional measures to try to address as we have in the past. But more to come
Yeah, more to
on
come.
the issue of parking. We're not going to resolve those issues.
It's
this evening.
far from, trust me, it's,
It would have been nice if convention center had built some parking underneath.
I would have,
Well,
It's 2020.
after 9/11, they decided that even the parking that they did build was not going to be accessible to the public.
Yeah.
So with that, we've concluded new business. Is there any old business that needs to be addressed? Hearing none. We have reserved some time for 2-minute presentations by NC60 candidates that were not present at our September meeting. I see former Commissioner Judd, who is uncontested in his efforts to reclaim his former seat. Mr. Judd, would you like to come forward and speak to those assembled for 2 minutes?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Calvin Judd, former commissioner of 6006, Churchill Quarter area, Townhouse, Father Road Road area, and New York Avenue on the northwest side. And want to let you know that I will be here serving the community again. This has been a board of director of Prairie School. This is coached the girls and boys club for 11 years. And we're working with McKinnison, Gonzaga, and all the different areas and different churches around the community. So it's a pleasure to be serving again, getting back on the board, and joining everybody. And glad to be back. Any questions?
great.
Thank you. Are there any other candidates that were not able to make a statement at the last meeting?
There's Lily Roberts right there.
No?
Oh, you can go ahead.
Question was, it was Eugene Sims, resident of 6002. Want to say good afternoon to the commissioners, to the residents. I'm running for commissioner for 6002. I've been a resident of Shaw roughly about 15 years. During that time, I've served as a background in law enforcement, all facets of the law enforcement community. Of course, protecting and serving. I'm out there in the community doing everything that I can. to change the community, make it better. There has been tremendous growth, influx of new residents in the Shaw area, especially 6002, great development. But along with great development and influx of new residents, the crime has gone up. If you look at the crime statistics tonight, you see burglary, sexual assaults, robberies, etc. I know my experience will help to decrease, put more presence of law enforcement, but you can never have enough police officers in one particular area. So I'm asking those that are registered, if you're not registered, number one, get registered. And if you're a registered voter, please remember me, November 8th, Eugene Sims. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sims.
Lily
Ms.
Roberts.
Roberts.
Hi everyone, my name is Lily Roberts. I am running in 6004, which is Rochelle's seat. She's not running again. You may, I don't know if you've announced that. Sorry if I just dropped the bomb. But
Very public about it.
I moved to the neighborhood about 4 years ago from Capitol Hill. I lived at 4th and M for a couple years, and now I've moved onto New York Avenue. I have a couple of different hats that I wear in my day jobs. I research income inequality and housing policy in DC. So I know a lot about the minutia of the details of, all of the development presentations that we heard tonight. I know a silly amount about zoning laws. So the sort of day-to-day stuff that comes before the ANC, I'm very familiar with. I also work as a consultant to help some cities combat income inequality. So I'm very focused on policies that help cities, help families and kids save money, go to college, have greater financial freedom than they would otherwise. I'm also a social worker, so I have been a social worker at the Perry School, where I worked with all of our neighbors to find jobs and housing. I was really focused on folks who were living in Sursum Corda, as well as sort of in the Northwest 1 area, and I've been really engaged in the Northwest 1 RFP process, because that's sort of my commute. I walk past the library every day and up through Sursum Corda up to Noma where I work. I'm passionate about a lot of issues in DC, particularly affordable housing and mixed income housing, and keeping a really vibrant, diverse community in Shaw is something that's really important to me. And I also sort of love the nitty-gritty details that come before an ANC. I'd love to talk to everyone more. If you live in 6004, I've been going door to door a couple weekends now and handing out flyers and meeting all my neighbors for, sort of in the capacity of running for office is pretty fun. So I'd love to talk to anyone who lives in 6004, and I'll probably see you 9 more times before November 8th. So thank you.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been to Second Northwest Cooperative Homes yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, we would love to.
I'd love to. Yeah, I was trying to go up to the, because there was the block party a couple weeks ago, and
Yes.
unfortunately I was campaigning for Hillary that weekend in
Okay.
Virginia. But that's my next stop.
Okay.
So Denise, I told your mom that I would be introducing people to her,
Right,
so
right.
be assured. Her mom is the one of the spokespeople per se
Oh, wonderful.
for the co-op.
And I sit on the board of directors of the co-op.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, let's chat after.
Yes.
Nice meeting you.
Are there any other commissioners that did not have an opportunity to speak at last month's meeting that are present? All right, thank you very much. We move on to approval of the minutes.
Oh, but Alex-
I apologize, I spoke last time, but.
Yes, you did, and so we are not entertaining additional statements from any candidates,
you
otherwise
said
we would
no.
have to give the opportunity to all the candidates.
Oh, sure, but
that
I
are
believe
present to do that again.
Commissioner Marcia said that we'd be able to come
Yeah.
back and speak again when
She
people,
said that, Alex, she did say that.
I'm overruling that. She's not here to make that determination. So,
Okay.
moving on to approval of the minutes of the September sixth, 2016 meeting of ANC 6E, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Treasurer's report, Mr. Chapman.
We currently have $52,237.09 in our checking account. All checks are cleared. And I move that we approve the treasurer's report.
I second the motion. Any questions related to the treasurer's report? If not, the motion was made by Commissioner Chapel, seconded by myself. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous. Thank you very much.
I think Gottlieb has a question for the comment.
Was there, yes, Tommy?
Has the commission approved a FY17 budget?
I believe.
No,
You didn't approve of that?
not, well, not for 17, that's.
Oh, for
that's-
17,
we-
no, not for
No, we haven't done that for 17.
Okay, well, Happy New Year. This is
Yeah, this is the
FY17.
beginning.
I would make a suggestion for your consideration, and that is if you're not prepared tonight to do that, but to preserve any expenditures you want to make in the next month or so, that you might approve a, quote, continuing resolution to approve expenditures at the same monthly rate as you had in FY16, so that you can justify expenditures for the next 30 days.
Mr. Chapel, would you like to make such a
Sure.
motion?
I move that we will continue the previous expenditures, such as the cost for the newsletter and the minute prepare, the preparation of our meeting minutes at the same level as we did in fiscal year 2016.
And any other expenditures that were in the FY16 budget?
Yes, and
Until we pass an affirmative budget for FY17. All right, I will second the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, Commissioner Chapel has made a motion that I seconded to establish a continuing resolution to allow the commission to continue to make the customary expenditures that it has in the past, especially in FY16, until the commission passes an FY17 budget. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you for the suggestion, Mr. Simon. Expenses, Mr. Chapel.
Yes, I move that ANC 60 reimburse Rochelle Nigro for the amount of $497 for the printing of the October newsletter, to reimburse Commissioner Alex Padro the amount of $17.77 for the printing of the October meeting agenda, and pay Karen Yaley the amount of $125 for the preparation of our October meeting minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous. Thank you very much. Announcements. Any announcements on the part of the commission? Any announcements on the part of the audience? I will recognize Edward Doxson from the Mayor's Office of Community Relations and Services. Anything you want to share with us from the Mayor's Office?
How's everyone doing this evening?
Great.
My name is Edward Doxson, the Ward 6 Liaison for Mayor Bowser. As far as updates, I don't have any specific updates, but I would like to give my information out to y'all as we do every meeting, and that's just for you all to reach out to me if it's a situation with street lights, trash collection, public safety, whatever the case may be. Our office handles that, connecting government agencies to the community. So my email is edward.doxson, that's spelled D-O-X-E-N, at dc.gov. And my telephone number is 202-341-3659. But I do have an update. So for our October core team walk, we do a core team walk each month, and that's having different representatives from each agency to go into the community to identify issues. So in our meeting today, we're not sure of the exact route, but we will be doing a core team walk over near the Sturgeon Quarter area. So once we get that information together, I can send to Alex and you guys, and if you guys are more than welcome to come, because we always want to get resident input, we always want to get different input. So we'll be doing a 14 walk, identify a lot of issues. I know there's a lot of issues around here with rodents, as Alex mentioned, so we've been working with the Department of Health to identify ways to abate
We have a family
that.
of raccoons
Okay.
on Second Northwest.
Second request, okay.
Yes, and I can show you the tour that they come up from.
Yeah, and so in that situation, I know with Humane Society, because I reached out to them because I was coming out of my place one night, there's a raccoon outside. So what I do know is that they only come get the raccoons if they're injured or dead. The raccoons, yeah.
Wildlife.
Yeah, they're wildlife, so they can't just come out, you know, like and get them.
Yeah, we got possums too.
Yeah, because it was a raccoon that came right under my car, and I called them, like, yeah, if it's not injured or dead, they can't come pick it up. So I know, I Googled some things, so I can share some.
But if we see them during the day, that could be a sign that they're erratic, because they're nocturnal.
Yeah, because they only come out at night, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you saw them in the day, that is amazing.
Okay, no, we haven't seen them in the day.
Oh,
thank God.
okay. It's like, oh, yeah, so just feel free to reach out to me, guys, if you have any concerns or any issues like that, and we connect you with the agency. And you guys have a great ANC here. Miss Nigel's on the way out, but she always tweeted me every issue that's
Tweet
in the
'em.
community.
The only way to go is transparent, everyone can see
We
it.
developed sinkhole on near the Street Park, I just saw
Yeah,
it today.
okay. You just send that up and get that, okay.
I just took a picture of it.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Knight.
So I do have one announcement. We don't have a date set yet, but it is imminent that the Shaw Skate Park is going to be reopening after it was closed for a refresh. There are some new murals that have been added, and opening up to the public probably by the end of this week. I'm sorry that we haven't had an opportunity to be able to make a formal announcement, but there have been a number of rain delays that made it necessary for that to be the case. So watch your emails and blogs and Twitter account for additional information about that. So if there are no other announcements, the Commissioners' next meeting will be on Tuesday, November the 1st, here at the Northwest One Library. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
That's a point of time.
No, election day is a week after me. So it's been moved, and I will second, it was moved by Commissioner Wiggins, seconded by myself, that we adjourn the meeting. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Aye, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned at 7:40 p.m.